Hi, I'm Johnny, and this is Comics Altruism, where 100% of our sales from the month of August are going to Cherry Street Mission Ministries in Toledo, Ohio. Now this lot that I'm about to show you it's substantial, so I've had to split it up into 3 separate episodes just to kind of stretch it out a little bit. And there are within this lot several items that I would consider as a buyer to be, a hot sale or whatever, especially for the price that I'm selling them at, but it's kind of interspersed throughout. So you'll notice that a lot of the stuff I'm about to show you is like, some of that is because of condition and some of that is just because it's not the greatest stuff. But I strongly urge you to at least check it out, watch the video through, see if maybe there's anything you're missing, fill some holes in your collection. Yeah, so this was a Kijiji haul, once again. And it just so happens when I went to this guy's place, we discovered that we have a mutual friend. He's an artist here in London, and he puts out some great stuff. I'm going to leave the link maybe to his Facebook page or maybe to his Instagram down below, but he calls himself the Lunch Thief. Solid stuff. Anyway, it just so happens this guy is his friend. So when I went there, he had them all set out in these piles on a billiard table, and it didn't really occur to me just how many books I was about to buy, and it was an all or nothing kind of thing. So that's why, like I say, you'll find a lot of basically valueless stuff, but I'm selling it for the right price. So some of the condition on some of the books, it was just like, you remember in Unbreakable with Bruce Willis, there's that opening scene where we meet the character as an infant of Mr. Glass, and the doctor is holding the baby and he's like, "Did you drop this baby?" It's like classic performance, but that's kind of what I felt like looking through this guy's comics. So I've already gone on too long. I'll turn this around. We're going Indie and DC for this week, and then next week, because I'm going on vacation, it's going to be a double whammy, and it's all Marvel stuff next week. It's either going to be like a Wednesday, Thursday release, or it's going to be a double episode on the Wednesday or the Thursday, however I'm able to put it out, just so that I'm getting the same number of books out per month as, approximately anyway, as I normally do. And I contacted Cherry Street Mission via email, their event coordinator person, and they haven't gotten back to me yet, but I was hoping that they could put their organization into eBay's charity list, because the reason I haven't gone with eBay, I've gone with eBid instead, is because those fees are just crazy. For the dollar value of a lot of the stuff that I'm selling, it's just not worth it. But if you use their charity listings, they take off the final value fee and the insertion fee based on the percentage of your final sale that you're giving to charity. And since I'm going 100% of final sale now, I can go over to eBay and start selling some stuff there. So I'm hoping to kind of bump up the sales a little bit for the month of August in the last week of August by selling off some of that A-OK stuff that I got in that live video. If you didn't watch it, go back and check that out. Some pretty sweet stuff. And also I've got an A-OK on the way from Jaguar Chikoto, and that should be available for sale at the end of August, and so that I would be putting in the eBay store too, but I gotta get a word back from Cherry Street Mission about that. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, here we go. So this is an example of what I was saying about something that you'll have no idea about. This is an anthology from a bunch of London, Ontario writers and artists, and it's just a bunch of stories. I'm glad to have it, and if you're in the mood for anything completely and totally independent, this is your item. Next up, we've got Megalith number 2, and that's part of the continuity issue number 10. I still don't really know how all that worked because I've only got a couple of these. So there's that. We've got Fearless Dawn number 1. That's a free comic book day book. It's just a sampler of a bunch of Asylum Press stuff. We've got JLX number 1 from Amalgam Comics. So this one was exciting. Madhouse. And you know how I love those obscure horror titles from back in the day. I think this was 1974, but that's Madhouse number 95. And then Mickey Mouse number 220. Paul, Close Encounter of a Real Kind. These are something else. This Aspire Comics, they were a Christian comics organization. And so it's basically just a bunch of affirmative stories that they had with some kind of religious message to them. I flipped through this one. I didn't actually read it, but it's interesting stuff. Also, these Spire comics tend to go for a little bit of money. I don't know why. And the only reason this one's priced as such is because of this big crease up here and a bunch of spine ticks. And then we've got Phoenix number 3 from Atlas Comics. That one was also pretty exciting. This is more of that independent stuff. This guy here, Chris Runciman, he runs a comic book publishing company here in London. So that's really cool that he does that. Not only does he manage the store, he's one of the managers of Heroes Comics here in London, but he also does that on the side, which is rad. I unfortunately only have a handful of those books, and I really need to support them more. And then The Tick, Incredible Internet Comic. And these are very deep spine ticks all up there. Through Gates of Splendor. This one I did read. And as you might see from this illustration here, they go into a savage land where the Aboriginal population have not found Christ yet. And don't worry, they get civilized and assimilated. So that's something else. Oh, and this is first printing, by the way. There are 2 printings of this. One's 39 cents, and one's 49 cents. So that's why the price is what it is. And then Worlds of Aspen 2010, nothing special there. It's just a sampler of a bunch of their titles. We've got Action Comics number 588. Adventures of Superman 539. And is it just me, or does it kind of look like Superman is a really buff 4-year-old boy? Like, you notice the proportions there? It looks like that, or maybe he's a little person suddenly. I don't know, something's a little off there. DC Universe logo down at the bottom is worth noting, though. Arak, Son of Thunder, number 13. This one was really cool. Batman Adventures, number 16, and that's the rare second printing up there. And even the first printing is worth quite a bit of money. So if it wasn't for the condition, as you may be able to see, it's poorly centered. And that's it. As far as I can tell, that's not because of a spine roll or anything. It's just kind of, you can see the paper there underneath the cover. So there's that. We've got Black Goliath, number 4, versus the Stilt Man. This one's in kind of rough shape, but yeah, it's still kind of cool to have. And then the exact same thing here. This one's in slightly rougher shape. There's a stain there. There's some extra creasing up there. The exact same comic, which I thought was strange. We've got Doom Patrol number 2 from 1987. Got The Fury of Firestorm number 45. Ghosts number 105 in very good condition considering the rest of the lot. So that's solid. We've got Green Lantern number 161. Jonah Hex number 62. Not in the greatest shape. The centerfold is complete, or the cover is completely detached. You might be able to see that from the absence of staples there, but the book is intact underneath. So, I mean, what can you do, right? We've got Legends number 2. Man of Steel number 2. Thought it was kind of strange that these miniseries, then he only had 1 issue of each. We've got Men of War number 23. Outcasts number 10. Whatever. This one was cool. All right, so Shazam number 15. It's a 100-page giant, and the square binding on this one is still very square. So I was really jazzed when I saw that one. We've got Superman number 321, number 406. And then from the next series, we've got number 21, Unknown Soldier, number 236. And then a bunch of these Warlord comics here. So there's number 60. And of course, none of them are in sequence. Number 64. Number 81. Number 99. Number 114. Weird War Tales, number 81, with somebody who looks an awful lot like Dr. Evil down there, don't you think? Pretty rad. And then Weird War Tales, number 82. Lastly, World of Smallville, number 4. And again, only one issue of that miniseries. So there's that. So there you have it. Part 1 of 3 of Friend of a Friend lot. And we'll see you next week if I don't see you with some contest videos before then. Bye.